I've seen the movie Global Metal, and there you can see that there is a big political underground scene that I think is very interesting, but as Stefan said, we have not many possibilities to listen to this band and get much information about the scene, but we would love to.
The things we recognized that after USA we get the most clicks on all of our websites and social media presences from Indonesia, which is pretty weird because actually we are more or less known in Central Europe and North America. So I expect that a couple of people will know us and will show up at the concerts.
Get to where the wood stopped because it gets so cold. The trees stop growing.
I guess the new album is more it's a little more complex, but at the same time the single parts of each song stick out more than on the first album, I think personally. And so it established our own style more, like in comparison to like the first, like Genesis, where we pretty much didn't have any expectations on it, just did it for fun, more or less. And then now we only had an audience waiting for something new, and we wanted to go a step further in terms of songwriting, and hope we took that step because the fans have to tell that we did. And the album is very well received. So, but we didn't think about that in the first place. We just wanted to make an album that we would listen to and buy ourselves. So it's hard to judge about your own music because we're really deep into our own universe. So it's hard to say. I would say that it's a big step forward.
I agree on that, and I also think that the vibe of the music on the new record is a lot darker than on Cosmogenesis. That's my opinion. It sounds more evil this time, definitely, for the most part.
I would describe it as progressive death metal. That's the basis and will always be the basis. With a couple of different influences from side, like prog rock, prog metal, into black metal, and actually all music that was written in the past 40 years. We don't have any boundaries. So we're kind of open-minded to all kinds of music. So whatever it will influence us during the next albums, it can be everything. But the basis will always be progressive death metal.
How you work to
Give me a second and shut the fucking door.
But that really made it.
It's different. Sometimes a certain member writes a complete song, and then just sends it around. Maybe someone has a suggestion like to change certain parts. But for the most part on Nivium it was like that everybody had like a couple of riffs to send around, and some just fit together very naturally, and then we put them into an arrangement. There are still songs like Hannes wrote a couple of songs on his own, and Stefan too, but then there's like a couple of songs which we wrote like completely as a group, so where everybody like contributed riffs and parts, and actually those are my favorite songs in the record. I think those are the most unique ones.
The difference also from the first album is that no matter who writes anything, it kind of matches the overall style. And if somebody in the band is doing like, you know, putting in a new vibe or influence, then it's just another, I don't know, another way or another form of what is our style. And that's why every song on the album has its own individual identity. That's something very important to us in terms of songwriting, that we have a specific song has a specific sound, like the way the song develops, and so it doesn't really matter who's writing this stuff. It's just it matters that in the end the group comes together and forms the song in a way that it fits our style, and our style is very wide, so that's something that happens naturally, very naturally.
What I think was interesting this time is that we all picked up influence from each other. Like on the previous record, everybody wrote songs on his own mostly, and then we played those songs for like many shows on tour, and then we picked up influences from each other. You know, so there would be a riff in a song, and our producer would say, hey, that's a typical Stefan riff, and then we would say, no, Hannes wrote that riff, or the other way around. You know, so you can't tell anymore who wrote which riff, because we all influence each other so much that we hopefully like kind of formed our own sound out of that, you know.
Well, in Germany we got the new thing, internet, so we dropped them emails, and it works pretty well. Now in general, we're one of the very few bands from Europe in the Resto relapse, but it's not a big issue. There are only 6 hours in a week, and we have a pretty good relationship to Relapse, and we build it up through the build-up work of Cosmic Genesis, the first album which was released via the label, and there's nothing to complain about so far. We wrote and recorded all the albums, and in return they support us pretty much for getting good tours. For example, we had a chance to play with Cannibal Corpse, Black Dahlia Murder and Children of Bodom a couple of times, and right now we are sitting here in Indonesia and doing interviews. So it works pretty well. We have 2 more options with the label, and I'm looking forward to fulfill the contract. Well, if you just see that there are 2 members of Necrophagus playing in this band and don't listen to the music, I agree. But if you listen to the music and see that this band already existed 5 years before Christian and Hannes joined the band, and we toured already with Suffocation through Europe, released our own album and did our own headlining tour. There was a history before, and I guess both bands have a completely different attitude to the music. While Necrophagists have absolutely a brutal death metal background, we come from a more melodic point of view, in my opinion. We also have black metal influence. We have a ton of different vocal and guitar sounds. We have acoustic guitars, whatever. I mean, you cannot compare both of the bands just because of their 2 members that played in this band and now playing in Obscura. That's not the point. The thing is, what I absolutely can agree, that some parts may sound like Necrophagist, not because something was taken from Necrophagist. Christian and Hannes both brought their own style to both bands, and that's the signature sound. That's the main thing people just don't realize. If you listen to, for example, Defeated Sanity, where Christian played before, since, I mean, he's playing that stuff since 12 years. There are also influences that later on brought Necrophagist to the stage where they are right now. So it's always the individual member that brings a certain sound to a certain band. So if you look a little bit deeper into the whole theme and the whole topic, I guess there's nothing else to compare between the bands than those 2 members. The influences are from the members, not from another band.